Greetings, I am Rob Chapman from Chapman Guitars, and do yourself a favour, go and grab a coffee or a tea or a herbal tea or a beer, like I have just done, and sit down and enjoy the beginning of what is going to be a long video, or at least I think it's going to be a long video, because I've got a lot to tell you, and it's all rather exciting, and as such I tend to go on and on and on, and it's just the way it'll be. I'm not going to edit a lot of this out, because I think this video deserves a lot of time being spent on it. So here's my coffee. I raise it in salute to all of you wonderful people who made Chapman Guitars the fantastic, massively growing company that it has become, to the point that I'm now actually looking for premises in Brighton, which is really cool, and I can't wait to put a table football in there and maybe an arcade machine and some fluorescent lighting and some nice comfy couches, and bring people down to check out gear and show you prototypes and have a video studio, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, due to the awesome growth of Chapman Guitars and just the way it's worked so well, having all of you guys help to design the guitars that we make, through my growing contacts and network of awesome people, I have managed to pull off, or Chapman Guitars has managed to pull off something that I've wanted to do for quite a long time, but wasn't really sure how to do. And I'm imagining that the title of this video will have already given away the fact that we're going to make some collaboratively designed pedals. Yeah! That's well cool. The problem I had before was that I wasn't really sure how to go about the design process when I know that the majority of guitar players won't know how a capacitor works, or they won't know about a push-pull, or what a 500 linear pot would do in relation to just all the different parts of pedals can be quite confusing, but even if you understand what they do, you might not understand what the after effect would be on the product. And so, but what I want to avoid as much as possible is kind of teaching people to suck eggs, or sounding condescending, or just making it sound as if you don't know what you're talking about when you don't need to. What's most important of all is that the sound is right, and all musicians know if the sound is right. So I've got a really good friend called Martin Kidd, and Martin Kidd designed my signature amplifier, the Victory Silverback. To my ears, he is one of the best designers there is for things that make sound and are electrical. I love the guy, he's brilliant. Here is the idea. Basically, we're going to start with a kind of gain overdrive pedal, or maybe pedals, because from little bits of research on my forum and on Facebook, that's what everybody is going to ask for. Now I know the world doesn't need another overdrive or distortion pedal, but maybe it does if you all get to design it with me, because that's kind of fun. I mean, I'm excited about it, but then I should be. I've got 3 prototypes. Here's how I think this process will work. It may vary along the path, it may change as we go. Oh, I forgot to sync the audio. Okay, now my audio is synced. I've got 3 circuits designed to a remit that Martin and Chapman had. And then what I'm going to do is demonstrate them to you, and then we'll have a poll. And the poll will literally be things like, do you want it brighter generally, or darker generally, or is it just bright? Do you want more gain available, or even less gain available, or is it just right? So that you can kind of vote very simplistically on things that anybody with a pair of ears can make a judgment upon. And I'll give you information about the way the circuitry works and things that I think are relevant, but I won't bombard you with boring information that maybe isn't so relevant. So hopefully, I mean, this is a bit of an experiment. No one has done collaborative designed electronics before, and I'm excited to be the first. So here we go. The 3 pedals are, number 1 is our screamer type pedal. Let me just show you how this looks. So here is prototype number 1. It's a screamer type circuit currently, and don't forget this is all up for grabs to change. It's just a white prototype, simple chassis. It's got gain, it's got volume, and it's got tone, like you would expect from any kind of screamer type pedal. So what's different about this sort of screamer circuit as opposed to a regular tube screamer circuit? Well, in particular the tone knob. Most, and not all, but most screamer type circuits have an active tone circuit, and it kind of cuts or boosts the treble and mid frequencies. And what Martin's done is he's come up with a passive tone circuit, so that you're not reliant on the interplay between the pedal and the amplifier. It's basically affecting the tone of the distortion and not relying on the interplay between the amp and the pedal to cause change in the way the high frequencies are emitted. So it's a passive tone control rather than an active tone circuit. It's absolutely designed to take a crunchy amp, like a slightly mild crunch, and turn it into a lead tone. Basically, it's what everyone does with a screamer pedal. You take a crunchy amp, turns it into a lead tone. It's asymmetrical clipping. Now, if you don't know what asymmetrical clipping is, you can do some Google research. It's asymmetrical clipping, which means that you get more of those even order, musical sounding harmonic content with this kind of gain than you would do with non-asymmetrical clipping type circuits. It's slightly different tonally to a standard screamer, and I think you'll hear this in a minute. It is very similar to the what was called the torch switch on my Victory Silverback, where it just adds that little bit more singing, screaming harmonic sustain to a note. So let's take a listen to the screamer type circuit. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, this is a Chapman Guitars ML1. I put some Seymour Duncan pickups in it. So here's the amp tone. It's just kind of a pushed crunch, enough that you could have kind of a rock rhythm sound. So it's got the great crunch, but if you try and play lead, I mean, you can get some kind of bluesy lead, but it's not got that rock sustain. Here is our screamer circuit. So as you can hear, it's adding just enough on top at the moment the way I've got it set to turn it into kind of a lead channel. Let me try and demonstrate that better with just a single note. Yeah, you turn off the pedal, the note dies. So it sounds great. It's also not altering the sound of my amplifier tonally. It's staying kind of, it's not giving it a different kind of tone. It's to my ears making it sound the same. So let's add a bit more gain and a bit more volume into the situation. So again, here's without the pedal. Here's with. And by the way, that's all of the volume on. I've rolled the volume off, but sorry, all the volume on the pedal and all the gain on the pedal. There's not a lot of noise coming out of the amplifier. it's doing it, it really is. Screamer circuit. It is a screamer, as Lee would say. So, do you think it needs more gain? I don't think it needs more gain personally, but the one thing I have noticed is that to get that mega awesome gain sound, I'm using all the gain and all the volume. Now the volume is currently unmeasured. We don't know how many dB it's emitting, but we'll find out. And then you can vote to add or take away the amount of dB. I think there's all the gain you would ever need in this, but some of you might want more for some crazy reason. So we'll have a vote. Do you think you need more gain? Bearing in mind you just heard it with all of the gain. Now I have noticed that on this prototype, at halfway point, there isn't really a lot of gain, and it all kind of happens in the final sort of 4 or 5 hours worth of turn, if you know what I mean. Now a good way to change the sweep, so to speak, would be to take it away from being a log 500k pot, which is what it currently is, and make it more of a linear 1 meg maybe. And Martin was saying we could add a resistor to it so that it didn't affect the kind of gain. So there's a thing, the Screamer type pedal, very exciting. I'm actually really digging just the white pedal with the handwritten stuff on it. Maybe we could make some of them white with handwritten, print on the handwritten Martin Kidd words and stuff, would be kind of cool. So that's pedal 1, Screamer. Okay, so this is what mine calls his medium gain circuit. I can tell you it's not. I mean, it's high gain. Now this is designed for an entirely different function. The idea behind this is something that I've always wanted to find but never really could find before, which is a gain pedal that you can put in front of a completely kind of pushed valve amp clean and get your rhythm sound. Many a time, for example, tomorrow I'm off to a clinic in London for some people in a place, and I'm having to ship an amplifier from Victory there because it's central London and I can't be asked to drive and try and park, and I don't want to take an amplifier on the train. But I mean, anyone could have put a clean out there, and I could have taken a pedal that turned it into a gain amp and a guitar, and I would have been fine. So I did think about bringing this with me, but in fact I just shipped an amp there. But I've always wanted to find a pedal that could just be an amp if you plug it into a basement or any kind of clean pushed valve / tube amplifier. This is it. This is sick. Currently known as the medium gain circuit, but Rabea came up for a name which I think is really cool, which is the Henchman, and I think this probably will be named the Henchman if it comes into existence through voting. On the Screamer, the input stage is a buffer which helps with impedance matching. On this circuit, the input stage is an amplifier with 16.5, I think 16.8 dB of boost. So it's an amplifier basically, which is why when you put this through a clean amp, it amplifies. But the amplifier still helps with impedance matching, but it's taking the output from a different electrode, so it's just a different way of doing things. Again, it's just a white, simple prototype. We've got a cable here because Martin had a job fitting all the bits inside. I'm liking the white knobs with the white pedal. I think that's cool. And also Martin's got very nice and neat handwriting, and I'm enjoying the way it looks just as a white unit. So this is designed, like I said, to go in front of a clean channel. I'll tell you why in a minute, other than the obvious. It's a classic rock kind of gain overdrive. So it's not a metal pedal. It's not a punk, or it could be an American kind of punk pedal. But really it's a classic rock pedal. Back in the day, Martin Kidd was lucky enough to hook up with Joe Satriani, and he had a chat with him, and Joe was saying that what he did at all his gigs is he ran his Marshalls really, really loud on a clean channel, and he got the gain from pedals. And Martin always thought that was a fantastic and interesting idea. And so this is designed in a way to work like that. So let me play the clean channel, which I've got pretty hot, and then we'll put this through it, and I think you're going to be amazed. I really hope I've done the miking justice, because this is such a wicked pedal. By the way, it's really simple setup. It's just a little SM into a Focusrite preamp in the GarageBand. Nothing's being changed. I've got TC Electronic Hall of Fame in the back, in the loop. Here's the clean channel on the Silverback. Pretty loud. If I hammer it, I get some crunch. It's a little bit of breakup, but it's not. It's not crazy. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't play that kind of thing. Check this out. Just, I'm in medium gain. What's he talking about? By the way, my gain is at half. I mean, yeah, let's just remind us. That's why I'm so honoured to be working with Martin Kidd. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I hope it sounds through the camera anything like it sounds in the room. It sounds sick. Let me give you a little bit more gain. So we'll notch it up maybe 2 hours, if you know what I mean, and let's just see how that sings. There you go. For shits and giggles, I'm going to give it all the gain, just because you may as well just know what you're in for with this pedal. So. I'm going to add more of the volume of the pedal. That's absolutely sick. What I haven't done is altered the tone. Let me give you a little bit more brightness, and then I'll back it off and make it a bit darker for you as well. That's way too bright. And here is all of the tone taken up. Pretty obvious to me that it's needing to match with the way that the amplifier is tonally affected. So it's very specific where you place that tone knob to make it sound right for the amplifier. But I'm blown away with the gain. I mean, it's great. Moving on. Let's move on to what Martin calls his higher gain pedal. So, higher gain circuit. Now, what this absolutely doesn't mean, kind of counterintuitively, is more gain. What it does mean is that it's tonally set up for more of the metal style of playing. A lot of metal players, not a lot of metal players, but a lot of people sometimes are under the influence that more gain gets you the metal tone, but it isn't. It's more to do with the attack at the front of the note and the way the tone is shaped. And in fact, if anything, you want a really good metal tone, take the gain out, add a guitar that's tightly tracked. It's to do with the way it's tonally shaped and the way the front of the attack of the note hits kind of defines what modern metal tone is about. So this is more, it's not scooped, but it's more that kind of metal tone. There's just as much gain as the medium circuit pedal, but it's just designed more for that kind of thing. Again, this is designed to go in front of a clean channel and give you filth. Now, I've just been playing for a few minutes with this higher gain pedal. It seems to me that it works better in front of a slightly crunchy channel than a clean channel. So let me just give you an example. Here is the, I mean, I've got almost all of the gain taken out, but it's a pushed crunch sound. If I pick it softly, I get a kind of a clean. That's the amplifier sound. Here is the higher gain pedal, metal circuit kind of pedal. Good. It's really good. It's more old school metal than kind of the more djenty kind of crew. Let me give you a little bit more gain, so I'll take it up from here to halfway, and I've got the tone kind of almost gunned. I've got a lot of the higher frequencies in. I'll back off the tone a bit for you as well. Certainly is doing it a lot of justice. Sounds a little tiny bit fuzzy to me, so I'm wondering whether that's something that we can eke out in the circuit design. Well, it's definitely my least favourite of the three. I personally think the medium circuit is killer. The screamer is great. I think this is good. I don't think it's good enough yet. I think it's a bit too fuzzy. But I'm interested in your feedback. So here are the questions I would like you to answer in the poll. I'm going to put up on the Chapman Guitars website under the new section pedals, which is really exciting. So the first question will be, of the three pedals, which is your favourite? That's a really simple question. I like that one, I like that one, I like that one. We'll call them the Screamer, the Henchman, and Circuit 3. That seems to make sense. The next question set will be, of the 3 pedals, did you want it to be brighter, darker, more gain, less gain, or were they perfect as they were in this demonstration? And like I said, in following videos, I will make more demonstrations with the pedals with different kinds of guitars. I just wanted to keep the same pickup, same guitar, same amp for the whole thing to give you a fair representation of the sound of the 3 of them side by side. So there you go. I hope you're excited. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please share this video around and get the community excited about designing pedals with Chapman guitars. I'm Rob Chapman. Take it easy. Chappers out.